episode was recorded during the virtual meeting titled Reducing Methane Emissions, a Legislative Agenda, organized by the ParlAmericas Green Economy Caucus and the Andean Parliament. During the session, Federico Parra, Social and Solidarity Economy Specialist at Women in Informal Employment, Globalizing and Organizing, or WIEGO, discusses the valuable role wastepickers play in reducing methane emissions by diverting waste from landfills and outlines WIEGO's initiatives to support their work. In particular, Federico introduces the GHG calculator developed by WIEGO, which quantifies the emissions reductions achieved by wastepickers at various stages of waste management. He also shares recommendations on how parliaments can support the recognition and formalization of these workers, fostering collaborations to improve their working conditions and compensation for a mutually beneficial outcome.
Good morning, everybody. We would like to thank to the organizers of this event for allowing us to share the vision and part of the work we do as Women in Informal Employment, Globalizing and Organizing, WIEGO. To begin, it's important to explain a little bit who is the waste picker population worldwide. Waste pickers are men and women who recover potentially recyclable materials, mainly cardboard, paper, glass, metal, and plastics, either from garbage in the public space or from landfills and dump sites around the world. According to the ILO, there are more than 24 million people who live from recycling. Of them, 20 million working under informal employment. This means they face low income, precarious working conditions, lack of access to social protection, absence to labor rights, and in addition, they suffer discrimination from society and in some cases, even prosecution by governments and public policies. In Latin America, the Inter-American Development Bank estimates that more than 4 million people depend on this activity. And despite all this challenge, waste pickers provide a crucial environmental service, as we will see in this presentation. Their work not only contributes to the collection, transport, and recovery of waste that would otherwise be managed by municipal services, but also supplies recycled raw materials to industry and mitigates the environmental and health impacts caused by a lack of waste separation at the source, means citizens, and by the pollution generated by industrial packaging. We could recognize the structural role of waste pickers that play in improving our societies, as well these difficult conditions. And that is why we have been working to strengthen and consolidate the organizational processes that the waste pickers themselves have developed, with a highlight in the role of the women. Today, this sector has organizations that represent themselves and give them a voice. For example, the Latin American and Caribbean Waste Picker Network, Red Lacre, and the International Alliance of Waste Pickers. So in that sense, we deeply appreciate, we say thanks to this event, because it has enabled the participation of our waste picker leader, who will speak in the second round of interventions. Another key action that WIEGO does is supporting the public policy advocacy efforts led by waste pickers to achieve recognition of workers and highlight their contributions to citizens, to the society in general. This recognition should translate into legislation that enables their formal integration into waste management, ensuring decent work. Furthermore, waste picker WIEGO understand the importance of making this contribution visible, as was mentioned by Juan Pablo Letelier. It's important to have figures. For this reason, we have developed a tool called Calculator of the Mitigation of Greenhouse Gases Production do the work of waste pickers in partnership with the organization named Green Partners. This application measures in CO2 equivalent units the amount of greenhouse emissions that waste picker organizations helps to prevent in a given city or municipality. And the tools consist in three parts. The first part has to do with information on waste generation and management, considering collection, transport, final disposal system used by public or private systems. It also analyzes the characteristic of disposal sites, and this is quite important because it includes open air burning, open dumps, sanitary landfills, and landfills with methane capture systems. The second part has to do with the data and waste picker activities, including collection, classification, transport, and all the improvement of the materials and how they reintroduce to the value chain. And the last part shows the result, would reflect how waste picker and the organization help to reduce these GHG emissions in each stage on the urban waste management. Currently, the waste picker sector mitigates GHG emissions, including methane, by replacing virgin raw materials with recycling ones, preventing waste from ending up in dump sites and landfills, and using operational models with lower dependence on fossil fuels. The work also reduce the energy required in the recycling value chains and prevent open-air waste burning. One of the key issues has to do with understand how this tool try or can in the future measure specifically the methane reduction. As many of the presenters has said, methane is a greenhouse that traps 80 times more heat in the atmosphere than CO2 and is responsible for the 30% of the current global warming. It is mainly generated by organic waste, as was saying, as well paper, cardboard, wood, and textile. To refine the measurement of waste picker impact on methane reduction, our team of engineers collaborating with WIEGO and the International Alliance of Waste Pickers has proposed that the calculator break down the reduction figures based on the average percentage of these materials recovered by waste pickers in the daily work, who can be near to the 60%. Another important factor is the final disposal of waste. Some landfills capture methane, but many final disposal places doesn't. In the last cases, waste pickers play a crucial role by reducing the amount of organic and fiber-based waste, as I mentioned, paper, cardboard, wood, and textiles, that reaches landfills, thus decreasing methane generation. For landfills that do capture methane, it is essential to ensure a proper mass of organic materials by separating inorganic waste such as plastic, metal, and glass. From a technical standpoint, WIEGO's tool, and that's a proposal that we are trying to develop now, incorporate the specific contribution of waste pickers to methane mitigation by recognize the role in removing or diverting inorganic materials before they reach the landfill. This improves organic waste management logics, reduce cost, and enhance overall efficiency. The results obtained for applying this tool have been significant in the waste pickers organization in Colombia, Chile, Argentina, Senegal, Ghana, and India. And finally, based on all the above, as an introduction, what with my waste picker colleague will elaborate, we highlight some key actions that are key important. First of all, legislative framework must recognize that waste pickers are part of the solution. And this means integrating them into the public waste management system, identifying and understanding their organizational levels, improving their economic and productive conditions, supporting their organizational process, overall in social solidarity economy figures, facilitating access to infrastructure and credit, and ensuring that they can work under better conditions. Second, extending social protection to the waste picker sector, healthcare, pensions, risk coverage. The other is assigning responsibility to other stakeholders in the recycling chains, corporation, packaging producers, and finally, that any dump site closure process protects the livelihood of waste pickers who depend on it, and in a participatory manner integrates them in, for example, door-to-door waste management systems, among others. Thank you, and let's always remember that recycling with a waste picker is just garbage.